It's a very cold morning at the second car thinks it's -1 degree, and the place is looking fairly white from frost. So I'm going to take advantage of that and just do a bit of a drive around and see what's getting around. I'm hoping to catch the pigs out and about, because much like people, pigs don't like being cold. So I'm hoping they'll be, as the fog's lifted and the sun's starting to peek out, I'm hoping they'll be chasing some of that warmth. And there's also a chance deer might be doing the same, so I'm just driving around towards a paddock where they've been told they're hitting through the night. So I'm just going to have a sticky beak over there to see if they're moving, if they're still hanging out about there, or if they've moved, catch them moving back into the timber for cover. And if I get over there and nothing shows up, I'll go check another spot where I've been seeing pigs and see if we can get onto one of those. See what happens. Sun's starting to come out and warm the place up a bit. I've got a little stumpy tree here in front of me. I'm just making my way to use this cover, and hopefully we'll get eyes on my fucking hogs. Give it a crack. Whew, she's fresh this morning. So I made my way down to that stump and they've gone out of sight. There's a couple of blackberries, some tall tussocks just there, so I'm banking on they're just hiding behind that. So I'm just going to move forward and see if I can get around and look back down at them and get eyes on them that way. There's a waterfall not too far away, so any noise that I'm making hopefully that'll cover me up. See what we do. That worked. So 2 pigs down. That was, and I thought I'd just the pig under that tree that I spotted, and I filmed it with the phone gimbal combo, and it caught it, and you see the pig drop, but I accidentally, there's a function on the gimbal where if you tap a button it locks onto a spot. So the phone was locked on to where the tree that pig was. So when the next pig came out under the fence and stood out in the open for me, and I turned to shoot, the phone stayed locked on to the tree and didn't keep following. But even like before the shooting and all the carrying on and stuff, like the thing stayed completely still. This gimbal, like I've been using it most hunts wherever I can. It's turned into a quite helpful little gadget. Like I'll shake that there now. Like it's pretty, like it doesn't take out all the shake, but it's, you know, makes it smooth. Pretty fine and dandy. There is one flaw I've picked up with it though, and it is that it drains the absolute hell out of the battery on the phone for it to use the app and talk to the thing to make sure it works smoothly. Like, it's a great little gadget, but obviously this thing was made for, you know, entrepreneurs that like to stay at home and they have access to a bloody phone charger all the time. Not for outdoor hunting and stuff like that. So it is a bit of a flaw with it, but apart from that, like, I can set it up. I used to use the main camera, the Canon, this one. I used to use this for everything, like trophy photos, general filming, like the talks and all that. When, I started playing with the iPhone, because, you just own an iPhone, you sort of didn't really go bother looking at it too much, but it's got just as good as quality going on in that as the camera does, and slowly and surely phones are taking over quality of cameras. So I just lose this for the long distance stuff, that, like, when you try to zoom in, if you see in the last video, it's very pixelated, it's not very clear. Like, you can see things moving, but you can't even, not too sure what you're looking at. You just know it is an animal. So obviously when it comes to that side of things, the phone's never going to outdo that for footage at a distance. But when it comes to everything else, like talking and setting up for a trophy photo and all those sorts of little bits and bobs, phone's good. But yeah, so if anyone's wondering, like, what's me setup, well, it's the phone and the camera, and that's all I use. And now I've got the gimbal, and that makes things a bit easier. I did have a tripod for the phone, and I used to switch between putting the phone on the tripod and then take the phone off and then put the camera on it. But now I've got the gimbal, the tripod will be purely for the camera, so I can actually get decent footage rather than like trying to stack rocks and hats and things on top of each other, just so I might get something in the frame. Because that was what I did a lot, was I'd use, just get a bit of a rock and I might add a little bit of a bark to get the angle right, and a lot of dicking around and not very much shooting and filming. So I think the camera will have the tripod all to itself now. Enough about me rambling, we'll actually go look at these pigs though. Here, little ball. She's heavy. There's a good sow. Here's the sow. She a big one. Been around for a minute. Black and ginger, spotted pig. Yeah, she was trying to make a getaway and I got her. She's got a couple of teeth on it. Showing a bit of age. Just the tusk on this side's broken off, but she's got a bit of a chonker there. Sows grow tusks as well, but they will never get as big and nasty as a boar's will. But yeah, we'll pack up, we'll go check the other side of the hill and see if there's any critters kicking around that side now. I got one deer here, and I got another one down here. I'm a bit disappointed with myself though, because he's only young. It's a case of the trigger was a bit quicker than the brain, unfortunately. That's gonna eat at me, shooting something that young. Yeah, I was just driving up along the road, trying to find more pigs, and I spotted the mob of deer cutting through the scrub, and they're a different mob than the ones that I saw this morning, so 2 separate mobs. And I was watching them there for a second, and I saw me mate with the drop tine. It was pretty unmistakable. You know, he gave me a few shot opportunities, but I let him pass. And then the hinds were still sticking around, so I mucked around to get the camera set up so I can get a shot at one of the hinds. I shot one and it dropped, and as it dropped, 2 more deer came running along. I said, oh, they must have been 2 hinds lingering back. So I lined up the next one. I can only see from the shoulder back, I couldn't see the head, but I was just, oh yeah, that's a hind. For the fix up, I'll just wait for it to, you know, step forward and I'll drop her too. And they started moving forward at a good pace. As I go, yeah, I'll drop this thing easy. And as I lined the shoulder up, is when I noticed the antler, and by that point I was already squeezing off before I realised it was a stag. Like, I didn't take the time to assess, see how big he was. He'd be only a 3-year-old head, 4 if he's older, but he's still very young. A lot of potential about him, and I've taken him out before he's got the chance to show what he's capable of, so I'm a bit annoyed. I'm trying to push some form of deer management, like, you know, shoot the hinds, let the big stags grow. When they get to a good size, then you can shoot them. Like, everybody that comes on hunting with me, I push that and I bloody drill it into them. Like, let spikers grow, let the young stags go. Like, unless it's the biggest you've ever shot, just leave them alone and look for a bigger one. And it's hard to push that and encourage that mind thinking when I shoot stuff like that and I can't, you know, practice what I preach, so to say. So I'm a bit, yeah. Like, I'm happy. I'm happy. These 2 deer will, I'll get to work on those now, and they will be meat for other people. I'll just get in the phone. I'll pull these down, and I'll get the guts out of them, and I'll make some calls, and, you know, people will be getting some venison. But, you know, for the sake of, you know, trying to grow big, good deer, you know, you got to let them go to let them grow. You know, and I've been holding off too. Like, I know there's been some big deer getting around, and I've been holding off in case I've seen one. Like, I would have loved to get that guy off the drop tine, and he was there. He was perfect, ready for me to shoot. But instead, I decided he was too young. I let him go. But in letting him go, I shot a deer that's younger than he is. He's probably maybe a year or 2 older than this thing, but yeah, it's you want to do good deer management. Yeah, these the two deer that went down on camera. As you can see, this is a young stag. He's a young 11 point. I already had me rant, so we won't go back into that, but he's got good shape to him, although this is a bit longer than this side. Obviously this is the weaker side because there's one less time than there. Hind's the first deer I shot. Both deer just dropped where they were, which is ideally what we want. Earlier I shot a couple pigs. The pigs were shot for 223. These guys were shot for the Winchester 338 WSM. I thought there's to knock these guys out and about. I'd need a bit more whack. I didn't have any bullets for the 30-06 kicking around, so I've managed to find a few spare rounds for that gun and bored him out instead. Actually, I can feel the bullet just here when I was filling it. Yeah, here it is. Bullet's just there. Well, I might dig that out and have a look, a bit of a peek at that. But yeah, anyway, so that's two red deer not eating grass anymore. Ideal scenario is that I would have had two hinds down and this fella would still be walking, but I went back and had a look at the footage, and yeah, it went how I thought it went. Like, he just sort of was on that quick of a move. I didn't have a clear look at him, and as soon as he stopped, I went, yep, bang, and they just sort of didn't see the antler until I was already through the process of squeezing the shot off. I did have plans to, I was originally planning to take them both out and hang them up and butcher them that way, but I've got myself into a bit of a sticky situation where I don't think I'll be able to get them out. There's that much of this fucking tea tree crap and blackberries. They're going to get hung up in the blackberries and get tangled up. So what I'll do is I'll just have to pack them out from here. I have to take the legs off them, get the back straps out of them. There's a track that runs down the hill this way, so I'm just going to pack the meat that way. Then I'll hike back down to the vehicle, come back around and recover the meat from over there. It's about, things about the same distance from track to track, but at least I'm walking in a straight line. I'm not, you know, having to keep coming back up a hill to keep busting myself. So yeah, we'll do it that way. We'll get the meat off, we'll take the antlers out in the collection. I'll nickname this fella the Hypocrite Stag because of all me fucking praising and carrying on and then actually go through with it, which I already ranted about. But yeah. eat as much as we could get. She was getting a bit difficult at the end there because the old Leatherman was going a bit blunt. So we got what he got. I think the shoulders that I recovered off the hind are no good, so I'll be turning the dog meat, but the rest is salvageable and good nick. We're in the shade here. There'll be a shade here for a good while yet, so they'll give me time to go recover some bags and things to let these things into, and we'll get out of here and yeah, we'll be happy with the effort. Bloody prime red gold, going to be eaten by some people that are going to appreciate it. Rightio, got a Yeti full of backstrap, couple of legs. Got that job well done, I think.